Right, everyone, welcome to another episode of FitFam podcast. As always, hit the like button and subscribe. And this week, we're going to be talking about
what we learned from the Terminator.
the Arnold himself. As always, this is Miss Natural Olympia Hilary.
And this is Doug, the Formulator.
And boy, we just had a crazy weekend.
Crazy weekend. Do we say that every time we have a crazy
Probably.
Probably every weekend.
We actually spend more time on the road over this 3-month span than we spend at home. Is that crazy?
That is crazy.
We're about midway through it. So it's but we did just get back a few hours ago from what they call the Arnold Fitness Weekend.
Yeah, basically it's the world's largest fitness expo, right? Because the main thing that they're doing there is the Arnold Classic, which is crowning the new bodybuilding champs, right? Clear across different divisions, and then for the IFBB. But also there they have how many different sporting events going on, from powerlifting to
foosball to cheerleading, everything you can think of. It's basically it's a fitness weekend.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it really, really cool. And they had over 100,000 people. Said the largest, 20%
20% more
than ever.
Tickets sold than ever before. It was crazy.
It was insane.
It was insane. It was awesome.
We did learn some things that we were talking about on the flight home and the drive home about what we'd want to share. And there were some really neat things that were some great takeaways. And it kind of comes back to wherever your mind is, right, your articulator activating system, but basically what you think about, like the white car, you'll see white cars, the pink. And, our mind was toward how can we better, serve our staff, the people in the world, to improve their health, their family. And the mindset was already there. What are the takeaways? And there were some really good ones from the weekend, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I feel like there were some great takeaways. I think one of the takeaways, and this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it kind of drove home that point for me while we were there. And the question that we have for everyone is, where do you spend your money? Where is your money invested? And if you think about it, your money should probably be spent or invested or used in the place that you spend the most time. Right?
Good point.
Wouldn't you say that?
Sure.
So then you think about it, and you're like, okay, well, where do I spend most of my time? In my home, I want to be comfortable. I want my family to be comfortable. I want people to be drawn to my home. So your home would be, an answer, right?
Oh, so we got to quit spending money in our home since we're never there.
No, all things still apply.
But no, that's a good point. You spend time there. You want that area to reflect who you are and cleanliness and vibrance and that energy. So you'd put your money there.
So you'd put your money there, or maybe your business, obviously, right? Yeah. You need your business to grow, to be able to support your family, to be able to have the home.
Well, the environment's everything. I mean, we spend a lot on the environment, changing it up. We brought trees into the office inside, different things, because that is important. You spend so much time there. And so that's where we're investing a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think everyone should, at least in the cleanliness. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but you need to invest in the places that you are a lot. Business is one of them for sure.
Yeah. Well, what about your car? I mean, for a lot of us, we are traveling like crazy. And so it's not just about having, a nice car. It's about having a reliable car. So you'd want to spend a lot of your money there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've gone through that before. We travel so much. It's 3 hours just to the airport if we do fly. And so we, spend quite a bit just to have that comfort, to be able to, you're there all the time. Why not enjoy it?
Right. So what this kind of boils down to for me is that there's actually one place that every single one of us on this planet spend every second of our time. And that is right here. Right there.
I see where you're going.
In our bodies and our health. And so if we are not investing and spending money on our health, we are missing the whole point. Because when we don't have our health, we have
one wish.
When we have our health, we have a million wishes. So I think if we can start having a little bit of a shift in how we think about investing in our health, we're all going to be so much better, because we all recognize that we will, spend money on our home, of course, on our family, of course, on our cars, of course, on our business. And yet somehow it is considered either selfish or put as a last priority or not a priority to spend money on your health. So my challenge to everybody today is to look at where you're spending your money and to spend some money on your health. And that can be a number of things. That can mean, a trainer, if you need a trainer, if you need somebody to teach you about nutrition, if you need a membership at a gym, if you need to buy gym equipment, if you need to ditch food in your house and buy new food, if you need to plan and budget so that you can.
Yeah, and I think there's really two ways to look at spending money for your health and fitness. One is just spending the minimal amount needed, but investing in it, right, to make sure that you have the system in place to be able to help you. So, like you said, cleaning the food out, doing that. But the other is also spending some money sometimes to make it hurt a bit. We have a few clients that are like, I'm going to pay you up front and get going because I know it's the only way I'm going to listen to you.
That's the thing.
So it's an interesting way to look at it. Don't want to get yourself in debt, but you also want it to be like, hey, I'm investing there, so I'm going to put more effort there.
Yeah, you don't know how many times I've heard recently that, somebody that's getting ready to pay for a program or get with a new coach or, attend a health and wellness seminar, and they just say, oh, that's just so much money. And yet they're willing to spend their money on things that won't improve their health. In fact, I would say a lot of people out there are willing to spend money on things that are damaging their health and not investing in their health. So I would just say that even, somebody could look at our concierge program and say, there is no way on the planet that I would pay that. And yet we have people that would say, I would pay double for what I've gotten back out of the program.
We have one client says I would pay 10x that for what it's done for my relationships with my family, my health, the business, and everything else. And so it really does come down to that. Like, no one should go in debt and that for their health, but they should be investing in their health. And majority of the time, it's just a reallocation. It's not like, where's the money come from? Look,
reallocation.
In all reality, the majority of the time it's reallocation, because we've seen people that really it was a major struggle to hire a trainer or to make some changes nutritionally, but right in that moment as they made those changes and they did it, all of a sudden other doors opened up for them and they grew in so many other areas.
I would even I would like to say this too. I think that I have I have been blessed with so many amazing minds in my life, and being married to you, I have a wealth of knowledge at my fingertips that I don't have to pay for. And yet I still will pay for a coach when I'm getting all year long as I'm trying to get ready to compete again. But I will invest my money in a coach because I know they will help me stay accountable to what I'm trying to achieve. I think there's no way around somebody that will hold you accountable. And I just think that it's vital. And I don't think we ever outgrow that. I think we just, it just changes and enhances. Yeah. And I would say a lot of the clients that we have had, what's been amazing is what they have. It's like a collaboration. I feel like we're giving to them with their health, but we get so much back in what we learn from them.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of it too, I love the collaboration concept, and the thought of it is that, look, where your mind is at and that focus is what comes through. This weekend being at Arnold, we're thinking about family, thinking about business. That's where our mindset is. So if you actually are investing in your health and your fitness and your mindset's there, it's a healthy investment. There's going to be health improvement in other areas of your life because you're health minded. And I think that's really important to understand, is that your vision in one area for health will correlate to other areas too in your life. And I think that's one thing that it's so tough sometimes when you're in this business and be like, you just tell people to invest in you guys. That, look, we're full, so you can't invest in us. What we're saying is in your health. And that's really the key. And a lot of times people will say, well, easy for them to say, and they'll come up with all these excuses. But what you really need to do is to look at it and realize it is just an excuse, that you do spend most of your time, right, in that body. And how you treat that body will determine eventually how you treat everything.
Yeah.
So it's important to focus on that.
We've talked about it before. If you don't invest money now in your health, disease will set in, and then your money will be spent trying to get healthy.
Absolutely.
At some point. So I think that's really important to look at.
Absolutely. And one thing about from the Arnold that we talked about, one of his big things was just movement, and I really loved that concept that his whole message, he could go so many different directions, but yet his message was, everyone, you need to move. You need to never stop moving, continuously move, exercise every day. That was it. Like, he wasn't selling anything. He was just saying, everyone move. And it was so empowering. He even went into detail about people worrying about stuff going on around him.
Yeah, no, I loved, he stood right there and said, it doesn't matter who is in the White House, because our mission here, we're all here under one mind, and that is the importance of exercise. And I feel like for myself, I hope when I'm gone from this earth, that one of the legacies that I'm able to pass on is just how important movement is, because it is a catalyst. Absolutely. And it is the best way to change your state. So I just feel like it's vital that we invest in our health, and that we realize, it's funny because when you do start putting your health first, and you do have to invest so much, maybe money, but time, right? Mm-hmm. It's like your whole life, you reallocate your time, and it almost becomes more valuable. And all of a sudden you put more emphasis on, okay, so then when I'm at the office, this is what's going to happen and be accomplished. When I am with my family, this is what will happen. And you all of a sudden stop wasting time, because there's going to be a portion of your day dedicated to you and your health and exercise. Yeah. That everything else needs to be, right on.
Absolutely. And I think that with our travel, the thing that has really helped us a lot, and all of you have busy lives, no matter whether you travel or not, everyone's busy, is to make sure you look at your day and say, look, I've had these meetings, I have this, I got to pick up the kids here, do whatever it is, the absolutes, but make sure you plan your nutrition, your exercise, and then everything else around it. Like, plan that first. And I think that's a big game changer. But, what's interesting is we'll get people say to us, well, what in the world are you going to the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic for, right? They don't do drug testing there. And although they did have some of the weightlifting events and stuff that they were, it's kind of like a mixture, but not everything's drug tested.
And there's extremes, right?
And there's extremes there. And there is extremes.
It is the most extreme bodybuilding that there is, right? I mean, you see muscle that has muscle. Right. So
absolutely. And I think that one of the things that's important for people to understand is that there are extremes in the area of fitness and bodybuilding, and just even non-competing fitness, right? And we all know those people that go to an extreme, and they're more committed to the body than the reason why they should have a healthy body. In other words, they're going to do anything it takes to have that muscle. And, they go and they take more testosterone than they really ever should, if they should be taking it at all, and all these other drugs. And you see that extreme, and it's out there, but it's out there in every area of life. But people use it as an excuse.
Right. I think that's kind of the point you're trying to make, is that it's easy to go, well, no, I'd rather just, stay where I'm at. Because look what happens when you start to worry about that. And that's the thing. We should never allow extremes in anything to determine our commitment to health, family, business.
That's the key. And I hear that so much from people that are right on the edge of really making some really big commitments. Like, I don't want to be extreme. I don't want to have the big muscle, or I don't want to live a lifestyle like that. And they look at their ego and their attitude and all that. What I want to tell you right now is that's an excuse, because like Hilary said, there's extremes in any area of life, whether it be religion, whether it be fitness, reading, business, everything. There's extremes that you don't want to necessarily get to, But so many people use those extremes as the excuse to not do it at all. And it's ridiculous. And everyone needs to kind of be called out on that, because the truth of the matter is, when you look at an extreme, you need to look as to the why. And if the person's why is strong enough, I know some people that you might feel is an extreme in the fitness area, but I also know they came from a huge addiction, and that's their way to not go down the road of something else. And so for them, it's okay to be at that extreme level. And there's others that are at the extreme level, and you're like, like that might be a little bit much. But to use that as an excuse to not invest in your own health and to want to be healthy and want to help with your physique, and especially internally at the cell level, is just that. It's just an excuse. And for all those listening, you need to get over it. And you need to realize that you do spend most of your time in your body.
No, you spend all of it. You spend all of your time in your body. Until you leave this body, you spend all of your time in it. And so you should feel good in your body. I think I'm also really passionate about this right now because of how sick I got on our cruise with our amazing doctors, and they're all phenomenal. And I was unable to do any of the excursions, or I couldn't work out. I tried to walk on the treadmill, and I think for the last 8 or 9 days of feeling that again, because when you're used to getting movement and you can't, you miss it, and not only physically do I miss it, my brain misses the movement.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm so passionate about it right now because I didn't get to do it for the last 7 or 8 days, and now it's funny how sometimes it takes those hard lessons to realize just how blessed we are to be able to move. So I just want to challenge everybody this week to look at your finances and see when, how, and where you're able to spend something on you, on your health, to feel better and to make a goal for yourself. And no matter what that is, but I would love a movement goal, something that means you're going to either have to work it on, cardiovascularly, or your strength training,
yeah,
your flexibility, something. But look over your finances and see where and how much you can invest in you and in your health. And even if you can't do it today, make a plan for when and how you can.
Right. And do it by cutting out some of the things that aren't benefiting your life that you have there just as a comfort. And we love comfort things, but if you're not investing in your health, take a look at some of those comfort things and grow up a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to pull some of that comfort to invest in my body. And as you do that, even if you have to do it for a few weeks, then come back and commit. And I love that. And we've always said the same thing. And it's because we've seen this truth for decades. And that is, if you are not training consistently, invest in a trainer. Even if you know what to do, you're obviously not doing it. Invest in a trainer for a while, 4 to 6 weeks. If you're not following the right nutrition, right, get someone to hold you accountable for the nutrition program. There's times when I've laid out a nutrition program and I've had someone hold me accountable to it because I know what to do, but I like to have that accountability, right?
And here's the thing. A lot of people say, I just need to start. I'm just going to start. I just need to start. And it's like, well, actually, how long have you said that? And yeah, you do just need to start, but you also need somebody, you need it to hurt a little bit. Unfortunately, that's sometimes what it takes. It's going to have to hurt a little bit. And sometimes that means a financial investment, right? And I'm laughing because I asked you to Venmo my coach, and you said, no, it's your coach. You pay for your coach. And
also,
it's true, because...
And also, are you going to hold yourself truly accountable?
Right.
Right. It's like, the biggest thing for that was like, are you going to allow yourself to be accountable to that coach 100% instead of just, some people say, I just have a coach and they'll follow it when they want.
Yeah. Versus, and I'm guilty of that.
No, like if you have a coach, then you 100% follow that coach and go with it. And then you'll realize that it's worth that investment.
Yeah. And find that person that will and can motivate you to do what you need to do. You just need somebody to kind of kick you in the rear end to get it done.
You got it. So bottom line is that health is not a hobby. Health is not a hobby. That's the takeaway I'd like you to get from this, because that's what unhealthy people think. They think their health is a hobby, something they can do, when time allows, if it fits into the schedule. Well, today was too busy, or we went here, so I didn't get it done. That's looking at it like a hobby. And that's what unhealthy people do. It needs to be your life. It needs to be the lifestyle. It needs to be realizing that's where you're at. That's where you live, spend most time, and you need to take it seriously. So this week, take it seriously. Don't put it off. Make it happen. Don't make it a hobby. Got it?
I got it. This podcast was for me because I've been a slacker, and it's time to just go hard on health.
Make it
go
happen.
hard on health.
That's the message. Go hard on health. Hey, as always, where are we going next? We're going to Anaheim to the biggest nutrition expo
Nutrition
of the year.
Expo, which is really cool. We have some cool ideas and hopefully being able to create some new things, and I'm super excited about that. Of course, I'll be on the lookout for the best and newest snacks, healthiest snacks out there, right? Because that's one of the things that you do here. It's like Christmas, and you just load up on all the new stuff and the healthiest stuff. And I'm really excited about that. And I've gotten some good feedback about what moms are looking for snack items. So we've got some exciting things coming.
Absolutely. So look forward to the next podcast. Again, remember to like us and hit the little bell, so when there is a new podcast, you'll be able to get notified, right?
Like us.
Yeah.
You like
us.
Really like it. Do you know what that's from?
What?
Sally Fields. She was okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Sally Fields.
Yeah, isn't that her name? Yeah, and she was like accepting an award. You like me. You really like me. I think that's what. I don't know. We might have to.
Smokey and the Bandit. She's the that. Take the hat.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it is.
Okay. As always, this is Miss Natural Olympia Hilary.
And this is Doug the Formulator.
Peace out.
See ya.